Hey everybody, this is Rustin Rose with AXS Entertainment and of course Examiner, and with us today the absolutely amazing Adley Stump. How are you doing?
I could not be better, Rustin. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. So I was quite literally just listening to your take on Hallelujah, and you brought back memories for me of Bobby Kreiner. I'm not sure if you know who she is, but wonderful country.
Yeah. Absolutely. We did that cover a while ago, but it's such a timeless song. I've evolved obviously as an artist since we did that, but that song for me meant a lot to me growing up. So to be able to just put my stamp on it, it means the world to me to be able to have a version out there that people can connect with.
Well, I think what I liked so much about it was you have this sassy side of your voice for, like the singles and stuff, but that really showed off the more emotive side, and we get to see the other aspect of you. So, anyway.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So before we talk about the new stuff and all the great things happening right here in the now, for those not familiar yet with Adley Stump, and that's obviously going to be changing over this year, and so take us back, if you will, and share your journey. When did you first get the music bug as a child, I'm assuming, that led you on to become a Season 2 contestant on The Voice and all of that?
I took such a different path, I feel like, than most artists. I was a marketing major at Oklahoma State and was always a music lover and a shower singer. Always loved music, loved lyricism, loved the craft, but it never dreamt that big to pursue it. We know the odds, right?
Right.
And so when I was a senior in college, and I was broke like any college senior, and I was like, I'm going to go on Jeopardy and win some money. In a nutshell, didn't get on Jeopardy, ended up auditioning for The Voice as a dare for my sorority sisters, and somehow, by the grace of God, ended up on that show and had some opportunities to move to Nashville. And Russ, in the last, couple of years have just been such a blessing. The stages have continued to grow, as have the opportunities. And I think that happening gave me a unique sense of gratefulness to where I was handed so much off the bat, such an opportunity to run with The Voice, that I made a promise. I said, I will earn everything else. And my biggest fear is looking back and having that opportunity and feeling like I wasted something. I wasted time. I wasted the gift. I wasted abilities. And so every day that I get to wake up and do what I love, and thankfully it's been full-time since day one, and it's a giant blessing when I look around here in Nashville, and you can throw a stone and hit some of those talented people in the world, but treating it like a business and scaling it as such is a completely different animal. Talent is the prerequisite to play, and making it seems to be about everything else.
Were there 2 or 3 albums or artists for you when you were coming up that were sort of pivotal in your progression as a songwriter and a vocalist?
I've always been a country music fan. But, being real, I was a child of the 90s. I grew up on Spice Girls and Backstreet Boys. But I always connected with lyrics. Growing up, I connected to stuff that had great storytelling, had great characters. And I found a lot of myself in those characters. And so when I started writing, I naturally started following that. I don't care if it was Dashboard Confessional or Jason Mraz or Reba or Beyonce. I connected with each artist for a different reason. But as long as that lyricism was there, or that song either made you cry or it made you sing along at the top of your lungs, you connect with songs that way. And those are the type of songs. As I've grown in my artistry the last couple of years, I think fans are going to see a lot more of that in this next album specifically.
As you were just talking about this, you have to earn it. The music industry has changed so much that even country artists are now moving into that do-it-yourself groove, and you have been a DIY dynamo.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate that. I mean, it's really out of necessity, but it's really unique, our business. It's like if you went into the car industry and you said, hey, okay, cool, cars are now free. Figure that one out. You have to get really, really creative, which is kind of nice because there is no formula and people are much more welcome to outside of the box techniques. But now it's almost about mass distribution. You want as many people to hear you as possible, even if it's for free, because touring revenue and merchandise revenue is still about 90% of the game. For us, as a younger artist, sponsorships, endorsements, social campaigns have been a large part of it, because now your music is that business card, but you have to, if you want to stay in the game and you want to keep doing this for a living and feed your family, you've got to make people attached to you as a person. They have to trust you. So when you say this perfume's cool, they that means something to them. And they really have to find some way to identify with you as a person, not just the music. Because if it's just the music, you're going to stay broke for a very, very long time, and you won't be able to stay making music and doing what you love.
Which is sad, because it really should just be all about the music.
I totally agree.
I mean, it's working, obviously. This year kicked off with a boom for you, 2016 Grammy Amplifier winner. How much has that meant to you?
My gosh, that was incredible. It still blows me away. It's very humbling, because you know what people see the tip of the iceberg, right? They see that 10% that's working and what they hear about you and what you put out there. But fans and the industry, your friends even, don't see the 90% of the work that it takes to get that 10% that everybody sees. And so to have that 90% rewarded, to have it noticed, that is really what that award meant to me. It meant the world. And so with this latest single, the Grammys and Hyundai got behind it. And, in the first 2 weeks, it got over 500,000 views between our release channels. I never could have done that on my own, not with this release and not at this time. So to have their backing and their support and their "you go girl," it's incredible, especially from such a esteemed academy.
So let's talk about the new single video, Don't Wanna Love Him. Is blowing up everywhere. You had your friend Miss USA Olivia Jordan in it. It looked like you had so much fun making it, with all the outfit changes, the choreography, though I know it must have been a ton of work. Tell us about that.
It was so fun to bring this song to life, and really it's not a boy bashing song. I'm not very big about that. It was just, you have the players and you have the game, and it was really kind of pointing that out. But we laughed the whole day in making this video, and especially to have my best friend to get to act with her. It just made it so much fun. And so I'm glad that the general response, when people watch the videos, that they're laughing, they're smiling, and that those are the components that typically make you want to share a video. And I couldn't have pulled off. That was my first video to scale like that, and it felt so good. It was just, I could not have asked. We did it out in Malibu. I could not have asked for a better experience. Now I'm totally spoiled. The next video, hopefully we can make it as wonderful as I think this one was, or at least as fun. And I'm just thrilled by the way that people are responding to it.
Absolutely. How many times did you have to change outfits for that?
Oh, my God. I think it was 9, because you notice I have a double, or somebody that I am supposed to be, or the real character. And so every wardrobe, you had to buy 2 of them, 2 different sizes. And it's a lot more work, these videos, to scale like that. I never could have done something like that, pulled it off on my own. It was so nice. We had such an amazing cast and crew. It was giant. It was a full day's work of hustle. But, yeah, all those different hairstyles and different wardrobe changes, I feel like I was just changing clothes all day. 5 minutes, shoot the sheet. We got it, go change. Yeah. That was fun.
It paid off, though. It's a wonderful video. So, and the new song is coming off of new album, new EP that you're recording. What can you share with us? How's the songwriting and such coming along?
Yeah, I'm actually headed into the studio right now. Yeah, we're working on the next EP. We're going to do an EP. I believe, back to our conversation of an independent artist, as some things are growing and getting really excited for us, I believe, we're going to start with this EP, make sure we have a solid group of 5 or 6 songs, and assess the demand. If we can get a full album together, that's great. You just have to weigh the cost basis, really, when it comes down to a business decision. But we're at least looking at an EP, and I'm hoping by, realistically, late fall.
And you're, I believe, this fall also going to be doing some dates with your buddy Blake Shelton. Is that correct?
Looks that way. I can't say for sure, but yes, we are going to be playing our first round of stadium shows, and that just blows me away. And we're in the middle of festival season right now, so we just got back from Taste the Country in New York, and we're headed out to Country Jam in Colorado this weekend, and just really getting to, it's nice because you kind of get to test market these new songs, throw some new stuff in the set, and we're watching the songs that continue to resonate. What songs are people coming up to me after the show and saying, hey, we love this, and it's seeming to be pretty consistent. That helps you kind of decide what's going to make the album.
Speaking of songs that resonate, you sort of stole everyone's heart with your song Stay at Home Soldier off last year's Like This EP, and you have a charitable organization of the same name, I believe. Tell us about that song. Tell us about how people can get involved with the organization. Absolutely. We wrote this song a couple of years ago. It's called Stay at Home Soldier. And me and my co-writers, we were
sitting there thinking about it, we're talking about our military and how we do our best to honor our nation's heroes, but we were also talking about the families and that sacrifice and how amazing it is to not have answers to all of your questions. And so we wrote that song from the viewpoint of a wife, and then I was out there singing it, and I was like, you know what, I don't really understand fully, and I never can, but I really don't understand what I'm talking about and what I'm singing about, and it bothered me. And so with Little Black Dress Wines, we partnered with them, and we did a military-based tour, and to get to go and talk to the wives, talk to the quote-unquote stay-at-home soldiers. Maybe that's a vet who's not out on the front lines anymore, but he's a stay-at-home soldier in his heart. The little boy's a stay-at-home soldier holding down the fort at home. And so go and hear the stories and be able to speak about it and sing about it, and mostly for my own education, you know. And so we put a clothing line together, Stay-at-Home Soldier. And as millennials, we like to wear whatever we think on our T-shirts, right? T-shirts and hats is a big deal. I wear stuff like that all the time. But when you talk about military, everything's bright reds, bright blues, and geared towards an older demographic. And so we put this line together, Stay-at-Home Soldier clothing, and selling that at the bases. And it's just, and we give a percent of proceeds back to these stay-at-home soldiers. So we're working with a couple different corporations and a couple different charities that we give to. And, you know, we're going to do another round of that coming up later this year. I know we're performing Fort Campbell here at 4th of July. And it's just such an incredible sector of people. It's been one of the most humbling experiences I've had to date is performing for our troops. It's very emotional. It does a lot for me, not only as an artist, but as a person and my personal growth as well.
Well, I know you've got to get in the studio and get recording, so just a couple of questions for fun before we get out of here. I understand you're a big sports fan, quite the golfer, skeet shooter. How did you get into those?
You know, the real answer is I love shooting. Golf, I went and played golf 2 weeks ago for Mike Tolbert's charity over in North Carolina. That was my second time to swing a golf club. I was petrified. Like, whoever gets me on their team is going to just be pissed. But we ended up taking third. It was so much fun. And so now I got the opportunity to play golf in Napa about a week and a half ago. I'm like, oh my God, this is really fun. Like, I see why people do this. I'm still not that great at it, but I see the fun in this. So now I hope I get some more opportunities to do more of these charity golf events. And they're all for really, really great causes, and everybody has a fun time doing it. And but yes, shooting. We've done a couple of Remington events, and that's been fun for me since I was a kid. And I'm not much with a handgun, but I'm pretty good with a shotgun.
Nice. So last question then. I don't know about you, but when I have downtime with nothing else to do, which is very rare, as I'm sure it is for you, I get lost in binge watching TV series. You know, the whole Netflix, Hulu thing. Like do you do this as well?
God, you know, I try not to let myself. You know, when the very beginning of our conversation, I made a promise to myself and to God. I said I'll earn everything else. My biggest fear is wasted time and looking back like I could have worked harder. Especially when I'm not married, I don't have kids, and so now I really try to go 112% every single day. And so I don't really allow myself to that much. But if I have a guilty pleasure and I do get into some TV, I get into Shark Tank or Modern Family. So there's one, you know what was great is after The Voice, Blind Spot, that one I do try to keep up with. I keep up with how Nashville is going, even though I don't get to watch all the episodes, but really excited about that show. The stuff that can make you laugh, you know, when you get the chance to watch TV, I like to laugh.
Adley, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with us. I'm looking forward to the new EP coming out later this year. Hopefully you'll get up to my neck of the woods so that I can see you live. And I just appreciate getting a chance to chat.
Hey, I always appreciate you, Russ, and thank you so much.